Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. I want to show you guys why this $40 light will save you when you're filmmaking. Let's go. So why would I choose this $40 light if this $100 light is clearly more compact, and since it's more expensive, it must have a better quality to it, right? Wrong. Well, partially right. This thing gives you a lot more options. Let me show you. So this thing right here is designed, it has a little divot, so that switch is easy to press, flip on, so you can turn the light on. And once it's turned on, you are greeted with one of the three modes And once this thing's turned on, you are greeted with one of the three different modes you can mess around with, play with, which is really awesome. Now another thing is this has a little LED screen on the back. You can see the battery life, what your hue and saturation is for the current settings you have, what Kelvin you're at. So in short, you can turn this up and then see how much battery life you have left with that amount of light. And then you can go and you can change the temperature, the Kelvin, so it's really, really yellow, or it's really, really blue, or light, white, whatever you want to say, or somewhere in the middle. So I know personally, this thing goes up to 800 Kelvin, and that's the maximum temperature, and the minimum is 2,500 Kelvin. I did not just look at that. So that's the basics of this thing. Cool, you can change the temperature. You can also do that with this. What's so special about it? As you can see, this, once again, is not putting out as much light, but I can turn that up, I can boost it, so on and so forth, which helps. I can change the temperature of this too. What allows this to excel is where you get lights and colors. No. What makes this thing excel is when you turn lights and colors, so you can, what makes this thing excel is when you use different lights and colors to enhance your scene. For example, me and my friends were shooting something and it was supposed to be really, really dark at nighttime. Obviously it is right now, but it wasn't then. Closed that off so no light was coming through. And then we simply set this to a really nice blue, contrasty looking color. Put this on a tripod, had it shine towards him in a certain direction, so we didn't have too much light, it wasn't too little light, it was the perfect amount, and we got our scene with it. That is what we got with just this thing, and obviously it's not the best. You can use it differently in different ways, but that's just one of the basic examples I have to show. Now obviously that scene isn't the best, but you get more or less what I'm trying to go with here. You can change the color and range to provide you with a bunch of different options for a bunch of different scenes. So for this, I'm going to turn the lights off so you guys can see what this thing can actually do. So for this example, I'm just going to be using this blue color. You can change it to whatever you want, but this is what I'm going to go with. So you can start basics by turning it up. It'll give you a darker feel to that color. It'll make the color really dark. That also turns the LEDs up. So it's going to be brighter, but it's going to be a darker blue. And then if you turn it down, obviously the LEDs go down, but it's going to be a brighter blue. As you can see, it's more of a green right now. So you can also mess with the saturation, which will give you more of a bright color that you're trying to go for, or a very just white, mundane color that you're trying to go for. Really up to you. You can change that to whatever. And then once again, you can change this color to literally whatever you want. So let's say I want it a yellowish green. Let's say I want it pink or red, whatever this color is. Let's say I want it purple. Let's say I want it blue. Let's say I want it blue. Let's say I want it yellow. I mean, this thing can do pretty much everything you want it to, color-wise. So one of the big things is you can change the saturation and the hue both at once on this light, which honestly is amazing for a $40 light. I did not expect that at all when I got it out of the box. It is very bright, I'm going to tell you that now. This thing is very bright. So this is the light turned all the way up and at 5,400 Kelvin. And obviously with this thing, I can't, you suck, film. So I can guesstimate on what this would be. I'd say maybe 5,000 something Kelvin. This is turned all the way up. This is the Aputure light. And it does look much darker, as you can tell. So let's get the lights back on. Okay, so that's why I choose this thing. And I'm not done. That's not the end of it. You also have different settings, modes, whatever you want to call it, to that. So it goes, I want to say A to E. I could be wrong. So for example, this is A3, and it's going to softly move in and out of a light setting to try and give you a TV effect, a TV like flickering sort of effect, which can be very helpful depending on what you're shooting. So you could put this up to where a screen is, any type of screen, I guess, and it will flicker, sort of adjust to give you the hints that that's a screen, a TV screen, a movie screen, whatever. There's firework, so this will show like sort of fireworks exploding, I guess, kind of colors. You also have settings for strobe lights, police lights, fire trucks, ambulances. Description for this specific light, I know they range somewhere between with the different settings and colors this thing offers, it really does help you create a bunch of different moods and feels for your films. And the battery lasts a pretty long time, so that's very helpful. I will leave a link in the description for this specific light. I know they range somewhere between 35 and maybe 50 bucks, depending on your price range and what you're trying to get out of it. It is very helpful though, as I've shown you in this video. It does a lot more than I've shown you in this video, so buy one, check it out for yourself, use it for your films, and till next time, I'm gone. Peace out. Honestly, it's a go-to. Can't live without it. I can live without it. That's an exaggeration.